Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Peter from Krispy Kreme. A few of you may be familiar with us. We make delicious donuts and serve coffee, amongst other things. We are not strictly an emerging brand, but we have some sort of store formats that we're looking at, which are new sort of emerging opportunities. And I think it's fair to say that's how Tim Edwards, our agent, has managed to blag me to be up here talking to you. So by way of introduction, Tim is our sole agent and has worked with us. We've actually been in the UK since 2003. To sort of bring you up to date, we are private equity backed and we operate the sole UK and Ireland licensed franchise. So it's one franchise, one company, Krispy Kreme UK Limited. Very brief sort of potted history, because obviously we aren't truly emerging, and then I can talk about the sort of new stuff that we're looking at. So we are a 50 million turnover, strong EBITDA, about 17-18%, 9 million sort of profit this year. And we operate a hub and spoke sort of approach, and I'll go through the store formats in a minute. And we are sort of in various touch points across the UK. We've still got some new markets to go. Glasgow is a very big one for us. We've sort of just opened last year in Edinburgh, and there's a few more to go, and there's sort of market infill as well. So this is just a bit about the brand. If you don't know, we make high quality fresh donuts, and they're fresh daily. We sell dozens as well as singles, so actually 50% of the business is people who buy dozens for the office and sharing and family and whatnot, or in Edinburgh to eat for themselves. And we do coffee, and we're getting more into coffee and chiller drinks and other sort of new product development as well. We don't have one sort of core customer. We've got quite a broad sort of range of groups, from sort of office heroes who take a dozen or two into the office on a Thursday, Friday, families, various other groups as well. Okay, this is a bit of net promoter score. No one will be able to see this in the sort of miniature scale of things, but it basically says that we rank very highly against some other good and exciting brands such as Jamie's and a few other sort of sexy brands on there. Basically what that sort of follows into is we have a very fanatical sort of customer behaviour, and the sort of most recent and most excessive display of that was in Edinburgh, where we opened on Valentine's Day last year, and it's the record worldwide Krispy Kreme opening now. It's beaten Tokyo, Boston, places like this. So Edinburgh is the global leader in terms of Krispy Kreme openings. Did over 300k in its first week, and just to put that into sort of perspective, our previous best was about 145k. It just blew the lid off things, and we've spent sort of the last 12 months with new private equity ownership doing a Javelin sort of report, absorbing what happened in Edinburgh and sort of recalibrating a bit. So we're now on a cusp of a new rollout, and in doing that sort of work, here's a sort of bit about so there's some new regions to go: Glasgow, all the way up to Aberdeen. We're still not in the East Midlands, East Anglia. Further down into the West Country, we're in Bristol and South Wales, but there's a bit more to go there. And we're over in Ireland in a couple of weeks' time looking at that. But likewise, London, Birmingham, Manchester, Yorkshire, North East, those hubs where we have presence already, there is capacity for further growth. And we've identified sort of retail templates. Again, this is quite small, but it sort of demonstrates that we have this hub and spoke approach where we open with a destination sort of flagship store where we produce our fresh product as well as retail it, and we also run our wholesale and our spoke business from that central location. So that's Hermiston Gate in Edinburgh, that's at Blue Water, for example. And then we have various spokes off of that, which are sort of coffee shops, whether they're inline units, mid-mall with seating, mid-mall grab and go, travel hub kiosks. But where this has led on to, and what we just wanted to touch on really with you guys today, and this is where it's a bit of an emerging store format for us, is with our flagship production stores, we've been on out-of-town parks for the best part of those 10 years, but it's very much with one format, and it was 3,500 to 4,500 square foot drive-through, also with our production, also with our wholesale element to the business. What we're looking at now is, as an emerging format, is very much more modular pods, both with drive up or walk up, and they can be very flexible, I think, in terms of space from where we are at the moment. So indicatively that's shown as sort of 200 to 300 square foot, but it could have inside seating, external seating, could go upwards to 500-600 square foot. We've been talking to a few people about existing or planned glass pods that are 1,000 square foot. And then the bottom of the slide also shows an Airstream, which are the sort of vintage American trailers that the likes of Oaxaca are doing in Canary Wharf and things like that. So very popular at the moment in the pop-up sort of side of things. And again, we're looking to get into those and hopefully do a few of those this summer as pop-ups. So again, on pop-up sort of short form type leases, don't necessarily have to be in one location all of the week. They could move around a couple of locations to keep the buzz around it. They will be proper sort of vehicles that can be moved around, so we get around planning issues and things like that. So it's just a very flexible format to hopefully help us to kind of crack some of the out-of-town shopping parks and retail parks where we don't necessarily need our flagship full sort of 3,500-4,000 square foot, but very much are market opportunities for us. So we are very excited to sort of start talking to people about that format, which is really the purpose for me standing up and talking to you today. So hopefully that explains that, and I'll be at the back later on, and me and Tim are here for the rest of the afternoon if people want to grab us and have a chat. Thank you very much for your time.